All right, guys, we're going to wait for a couple people to jump on here. I think you get the premise of the video. We're going to be talking about the Sprint Booster version 3 on the 2015 Toyota 4Runner. All right, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and pop this camera around. Hey guys, Rustin here with Overlanding USA. We just kind of wanted to make a little quick video. We recently got a Sprint Booster. You know, I've played around looking at these things for, probably 2.5 years, pretty much ever since I bought the truck. As many of you know, this year 4Runner, the 2015, or really all the 5th gen 4Runners, and a lot of 3rd gen Tacomas have a big problem with pedal lag. So put your foot down, doesn't really seem to ever go anywhere. So what we decided to do was we're going to give this thing a go. We got it from a local shop here, Rogue Off-Road. And I just got done installing it. I'm going to kind of show you guys what that looks like as far as the actual install, and then we're going to give it a test drive. And so we're going to do kind of a closed test, turn it all the way on, turn it all the way off, same thing, a little straight away, foot pedal to the floor, see exactly what the difference is. All right, so let's go in the truck. So the Sprint Booster is actually pretty simple. Right here is going to be our control dial. I've got the ability to turn it up and down and turn it on. Beyond that, it actually, I don't know if you can see it. I'll see if I can't get a better picture of it. But basically what it is, let's enable the flash. Let's see what that does. Yeah, there we go. So right here at the top of the pedal, you're basically going to have the electronic part where the wiring comes out. It basically just plugs into there, and then plugs into this part right here. Actually, you can see it. And then that wire then runs, which I've got to clean that up because I don't need that behind my brakes. Runs up to the control module right here. And from there, basically, it just gives you the ability to increase your throttle potential. So I'm going to grab this stuff off the roof. I'm going to turn off the flash. Let's move this stuff out of the way. Sorry all the mess, guys. We just moved into the new house. But I do love having a garage. All right. So let's do this. I'm going to run in here. I'm going to hook you guys up to the ram mount. And once we get hooked up. All right, so Arizona Tacoma. No, at the moment we are not going to re-gear. It is probably something that we will do eventually. But I will let you know, after a lot of conversation with people, we will actually be going to a 488 gear, not a 456. I know that's probably not the popular choice, but I was given some strong recommendation to go to a 488 over a 456. But that will come in due time. We've got a couple other things that we're going to do first. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing out on the street, and we're going to give it a go. So right now, basically, I'm going to explain this thing to you. It's got two modes. It's got a race, sport, and a race mode. Each one adjusts the throttle pedal response slightly differently. So race mode's obviously more than sport mode. And then each one of those actually has 9 levels of adjustability as to the actual strength of that mode. Sorry about that, guys. Here we go. All right, so for the first test, I'm actually going to go down to the end of the street right here. I'm going to kind of turn around. I'm going to turn the entire system off from a dead stop. First gear, what we're going to do is, Expedition Outfitters Supercharger is nice. Supercharger is $6,000. I don't have that much money, but it would be ideal. So dead stop, basically what we're going to do is foot to the floor to about 25-30 miles an hour. Give you an idea kind of, what that's like. So foot to the floor, we get pretty good acceleration. Nothing too crazy. But it's the standard acceleration. When you put your foot to the floor, because it's a kind of a little bit of a drive-by wire system, you don't get acceleration instantly. So you get a little bit of lag. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to turn the Sprint Booster on. And just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go all the way to the max level. So we're at red, which is race mode. I'm going to go ahead and stop. This is level 9, race mode. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm putting my foot to the floor. So I would say kind of, to be honest, you know, foot all the way to the floor is pretty similar, which is kind of the point. Foot all the way to the floor is 100% throttle input. This thing, what it does is it adjusts it by, I would say, you know, 50-60%. So the main thing that you're going to notice, so like right now, I barely put my foot on the floor and we got 100% acceleration. So the main place that, you know, that I've noticed difference already, just driving around a little bit, coming out of turns and acceleration when you go to overtake. That's where we're killing with me. You know, I really got to mash foot all the way to the floor for it to get to, you know, the point at which it'll overtake. Beyond that, it actually will allow you to jump gear a little bit faster. So before, it's like, oh, it really doesn't want to change gear, which, you know, I kind of get that all the time. You want to change gear, especially being, you know, an automatic transmission. But with this, you know, interstate, I've noticed you're riding along in 5th gear, put your foot down on a little bit to go around someone. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily want to do it. With the sprint booster, I would say it's a little bit more inclined to do it. I wouldn't say it's, you know, forcing it. The only problem that I've had with it so far is when I was getting onto the interstate, a little focus issue there. I was having an issue with it, maybe trying to get too many gears, and it was jumping down 2 gears and trying to throw me into, you know, 5,000 RPM getting on the interstate, which I wasn't to be a fan with. What I have found is that, you know, yes, it increases throttle response, but it's not necessarily its best wide open. How does it feel more power at low revs? It feels like it wants to get there faster. It doesn't necessarily, it does not have any more power. No, period, end of question. This does not produce any more power, but it tries to make the vehicle seem like it's got more power. It seems like it wants to go a little bit better at low RPM. I will say that much, but that's about as much as I'm gonna say. Like I said, it doesn't add any power whatsoever, but just from driving it around, it does seem like it wants to go more. It's utilizing the power that is available to the 4Runner maybe a little bit more effectively or more immediately. That's about the extent of what I would say. Driving around so far, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. What I do like about it is when it's timed up right and when I have the system set up right, it does seem to want to go a little bit faster. It does seem to want to, you know, give me that throttle, give me that power maybe a little bit sooner. And with less work on my end as far as pushing my foot down. What I don't like about it so far is that in certain situations it does have a tendency to jump gear a little too fast and over rev, which is a little bit annoying. Is it necessarily making me regret it? Absolutely not, because it feels like the truck feels so much peppier, and I'm sure once we get around to re-gearing and once we get around to you know, adding a few other performance mods, which we're looking at doing, it's gonna all tie in really well. Oh no, I'm sorry. But the cell phone booster, we're gonna do another one about that. Cell phone booster ended up being a little interesting, and we're gonna make another video about that here soon. But as far as the sprint booster is concerned, so far I like it. Yeah, I'll walk through the setup on the pedal one more time. Like I said, it's really simple. Let me pop you guys around. I'm gonna get this flash back on. So it's really easy. I'm gonna have to get down there a little bit farther. I'm gonna pop this seat back. But so it's really simple. So there's a basically where the sensor is that goes into, here's your pedal. So you've got the pedal, and then you have the sensor the wiring that comes off the top. So basically, you unplug the stock part from Toyota where it plugs in. And then this is all comes with the sprint booster. So this entire little contraption right here, and then simply you plug in your stock one right there, and the control harness plugs in right here. So that's kind of how that goes in right there. Pretty simple, nothing too elaborate. So it's a little bit of an interesting thing. I put it on today, so we'll see exactly how it goes. I will leave a link in the description of this video once it posts, where you can actually, you know, possibly buy one. I know the people we got them from, it's a company here in Vegas called Rogue Off-Road. He's actually got probably the best price that I've seen. So, you know, hopefully you guys give it a test out. We'll do a long-term review, obviously, but beyond that, just, you know, we're going to give it a go. Hopefully you guys found this entertaining. I haven't found too much on YouTube as far as, you know, talking about this particular product on this application. So hopefully you found this useful. If you did, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed already, please do so. We've got a lot of cool content coming out here in the future. All right, guys, this has been Rustin with Overlanding USA. Thanks for watching.